This set of tutorials is going to teach you how to use Photoshop specifically for web design in Dreamweaver. So if we have a look here at this heading bar at the top, maybe I want to put a background image in this. And first things I need to do is check its size, and I can see it's 1000 here, but its height is a little bit hard to find. If I click on split or code view, I can see here that I've manually specified the height by typing it in, and that'll make it the height I want, which is 150. So I know it's 150. I'm going to go to Photoshop, and I want to turn this into my background for my heading. So I'm going to make a new Photoshop document. I'm going to make it 1000, and I'm going to make it 150 in height. Press OK. That is the exact size that will fit my heading in Dreamweaver. And now I'm going to use this image that I've got, press Ctrl A to choose it all, Ctrl C to copy it, and I'm going to back to the untitled document, press Ctrl V to paste it. And now I can move around until I'm happy with its position. I kind of like it there, but I also want to rotate it around. So you can either do that using Edit, Free Transform, or Transform here, Rotate. I might just go with Rotate on the horizontal. And then I'm just going to move that over to about there. If I want to shrink it down, if I press Ctrl T, as you saw the shortcut key before, that'll show me how big it is in actual size, and then I can shrink it down using the arrows, which is what I want to do. I'm going to go there. Yeah, once you're happy with that, you can either press Enter on your keyboard or press the tick up here. And now that's good to go. And all you need to do is save it now. So my suggestion for something like this, which is a full color image and you don't want it to be transparent, is to save it as a JPEG. So File, Save As, change from PSD to JPEG, and now just call it something useful like banner top. Make sure it's in the right location, which in this case it is for me, and press Save. It'll pop up with this option here, which allows you to decrease quality to make file size small, to reduce it, but 1/16 is fine. That's not even, that's 1/10 of a megabyte, it's nothing. And press OK. That'll save there, and now if you go back to Dreamweaver and just hit refresh, you should see your image, which is right here. And I want to make that the background image of my top table here. I'm going to click on the edge of my table, press Shift F5, or right click it and choose, or right click and choose Edit Table. Get a browser specific background image, pick your banner, press OK, and there it is. It fits. It's exactly the size that it needs to be. Obviously these are now clashing with that, and we'd have to fix that by making some kind of semi-transparent button or heading or something like that. Alright, next up we're going to create some buttons because these hyperlinks are like impossible to read. So go to, click on your table, and you can see they're about 250 wide, that's good, and they're probably about 70 pixels high. So go to Photoshop again, make a new document, and we're going to go 250 by 70. And we're going to press, make sure you've chosen it with pixels by the way. Press OK. And now we are going to create like a transparent button with a transparent background so it can be applied to any background image or whatever. So to do that, we need to either unlock this layer, or I like to create a new layer and then delete the old one, which creates transparency. Now we're going to use our text tool, and we're just going to use this impact font, draw a box. I'm going to write home. If you can't see it, it's probably because your text is too big, which in my case it is. Now it's a bit too small. Change the font color to, I'm going to go, actually I'll stick it with white for now. Increase its size to 30 or whatever size will fit. If you use Alt and then scroll, it'll zoom in and you can see what's going on here a little bit better. So I want to make that a little bit bigger. Press Ctrl A to choose everything, or click and drag to highlight it. And I'm going to go with 60 and then make my box bigger so it actually fits. There we go. And using the top left selection tool, move tool, I'm going to put it right in the middle. And it says home. Now that's still not standing out, so what we're going to do is click on our one layer here, and we're going to go down to effects, and we're going to put in a stroke, just so it stands out a little bit. Now it just looks like a meme, but anyway. I'm going to make it stroke of 2. And I'm also going to have a drop shadow, so effects again, and I'm going to go with maybe we'll go with glow actually. That'll work. And the glows, you can change the colours or whatever. I'm going to go with increasing the opacity so it's easily visible. Increasing the spread will make it poke out more, and the size. That's what I'm after. Something like that. There we go. So changing the spread and the size until it sort of makes this sort of glowing edges. That'll do. I'm happy with this yellow colour, although you can change it if you like by clicking here and doing whatever you want, but that'll work for me. Press OK. Now that we've got this glowing button right here, we're going to go File, Save As, and we're going to pick PNG because PNG allows for transparency. And normally you'd save this to a buttons folder, but I'm just going to be bad and save it to my images. And we'll call it Home BTN 1. And it's called 1 because we're going to turn it into a rollover later. So we're just going to say Save. And say OK. It'll save itself. And now, before we do anything crazy, we're going to modify this to create its rollover partner. So we're going to double click on Outer Glow. And we're going to change this from yellow to, I don't know, going to make it this kind of light blue colour. There we go, that'll do. Press OK. So it's pretty much the same button, but now it changes to blue, which is what's going to happen when you roll over it. So File, Save As, and change it back to PNG. And I usually just click on it so it changes the name, and then Home button 2. There you go. Press Save. Okay, now if we go back to Dreamweaver, we can click in this area here, delete the Home button, and say Insert, Image, Objects, Rollover. And we're going to pick our first Home button and our second Home button. I'm going to call it Home BTN, and it's going to be Home.html, of course. Press OK. And there is our button. It's pretty big. Press F12 to test it out. We have to save it first, of course. I'm just going to call it Home. Maybe I won't call it Home. I'm going to call it Test. And now if we press F12, it should come up. And there you go. Okay. That is an easy way to create a transparent button that'll hopefully work on any full color background. You'll notice the glow around the edge makes it stand out a bit. If that wasn't there, then it would be sort of harder to see the text. Okay, so hopefully you've learned how to make the banner and the buttons that have a transparent background. Stay tuned for the next tutorial.